If you're an Android phone user and Apple's iPhone 6 hasn't successfully lured you away yet, you might want to take a look at yet another Chinese phablet that offers high-performance specs and yet comes in below the 20,000 price level. Adrian Lim, the Chief Information Officer at Novu 7 Technologies Corporation, joins us in the studio with the Meizu MX4 Pro. Adrian, thanks for coming over.
Thank you for having us.
So the MX4, as we saw that in a previous episode of Future Perfect, is a smaller brother of the MX4 Pro.
Yes, exactly. So this is the MX4 Pro. This is a significant upgrade compared to the MX4.
Yeah.
One for primarily is the 5.5 2K display resolution. It has to date the highest PPI at 546. And the screen is actually protected by Corning Gorilla Glass. And you don't have to take my word for it, if I may.
What are you doing?
I'm about to pull out my Damascus blade here, and I'm going to scratch the surface of my phone.
Yeah, Adrian does that all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
And
when his phone gets itchy, that's what he uses to scratch it. Yeah.
Well, actually, I use this to handle customer complaints. No, just kidding. In fact, even the rear camera here, the lens, is protected, but with a higher level of protection. It uses sapphire glass crystal to protect the optics at the back.
Yeah.
And even the fingerprint scanner up front is also protected by sapphire glass crystal.
You know, that's one of the things that, apart from the scratch resistance of the glass and the camera lens, the fingerprint sensor is a feature of some smartphones that we're starting to see, obviously because, you know, the iPhone started it with the iPhone 5S. But the way it's implemented with the Meizu MX4 Pro, tell us a little about it.
All right. So, for example, would like to unlock my phone.
Yeah.
Normally, the technology of this one is to enable the users to unlock their phones faster. But if you do this by using PIN codes, definitely that's not the way to go. For this one, accurate and ultra-fast recognition is the key here.
Yeah.
So, for example, would like to unlock my phone. This is the normal way to do it. So that's
you use your thumb. I
use my thumb. I program my thumb.
Can you program other fingers with it?
Actually, you can program a maximum of 5 fingers.
5 fingers.
Yes.
Okay. As long as you didn't get hurt during New Year's Eve.
Yes, assuming that. So I can also use it. You don't need to swipe it in a particular direction or speed compared to other smartphone devices. This one I can also unlock this using sideways or the other side, or even inverted.
Okay, so the sensor doesn't need any particular direction for it to recognize. What it's basically looking at is obviously your fingerprint, right?
Yes, your fingerprint.
Your fingerprint. So you programmed it to work with any of your 5 fingers?
Yes, any finger that you would like to program. Even you can even program your toes.
You're kidding me.
Just in case for any emergency, you would like to reach your phone using your toe.
What about other? Never mind. Well, okay, so that one particular feature, I think, is also already amazing for me. But we do know that Meizu also has its own version of Apple Pay. What is it called?
It's called the M Touch, actually this is the M Touch. And in China they use the M Pay. Actually, it is it's a technology used by Alibaba. It's being funded by Alibaba. And we all know that Mr. Jack Wong is the Chinese #1 right now.
Yes.
And then they use this you can actually tap your credit card and reload your balance here in the phone, since it has NFC built in at the back. So I'll pop the back here so that you guys can have a closer look.
So M-Pay only works in the Chinese market now?
As of now. Yeah. Actually, there are some rumors that Alibaba might be coming here. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So probably the success of Tmall and Taobao in China is so phenomenal that they would like to try it here in
to expand outside the Chinese market as well.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you have to forgive me, Adrian, though, because even our studio guys here are we're looking at the phone before we went on air, and they noticed a striking similarity with a Korean-made phone. But the design aesthetics itself, would you say that it took a page out of the Samsung Galaxy Note 4? I'll say it out now.
Okay, no problem. Actually, the design is inspired by a lot of the popular brands out there. But one thing that Meizu prides itself with the quality of materials that they use. For one kind of material, the frame here, it's actually the skeleton from inside, and it's made from an aircraft-grade aluminum body.
Okay.
So it is the same type of material used in aircrafts, and
That's
it's
the interior frame.
This one here,
Yeah,
the one
okay.
that you're holding right now.
Right, right.
It's durable, lightweight, doesn't rust, and at the same time, it's the best way to dissipate heat.
Okay.
So in fact, even if I, oops, sorry, dropped my phone intentionally.
Actually, you didn't ruin the phone. You ruined my set.
Oh, sorry,
I'm
sorry.
My set isn't scratch-proof.
I'll build Meizu in China. In fact, this is how I always do my demo. Actually, I have a exoskeleton of this one on my other demo. So I just try to crush my phone using with a lot of my strength, my grip, and try to convince them that it doesn't really.
That's a
bend
different
up.
example of the bendable iPhone 6.
Well,
So
nobody bends their phone like that. I mean, the point is, when your phone is dropped, it always lands on the heaviest part of the phone.
Sure.
So that's the battery part. It's the heaviest part. So normally, what takes the abuse are the sides and the edges.
So that's why you have
not the screen.
that's why you have a jelly case.
A jelly case just for
protect it.
additional protection. But what I did earlier was just to prove that it doesn't need it.
Sure, sure. But in real life, people like to protect their phones anyway by putting an extra case
Exactly.
just to make sure.
It's a piece of investment.
Exactly, exactly. And another thing that people want to know about, especially with the phone, is how good it can take pictures with.
Of course.
And you're looking, you said it was a sapphire-coated lens. What is the resolution on this?
Actually, the optics for this one, it's at 20 megapixel.
20 megapixels.
It uses a Sony Exmor RS IMX220 ABS-I sensor.
Yeah.
It's actually the same kind of optics used in the Sony Xperia Z3 series.
Does it have the optical image stabilization?
It doesn't have OIS, but it does have DIS, and it can also record up to 4K video resolution.
Wow.
So that's ultra high definition,
Yes.
Meaning if you would like to record a 1-minute video, it will consume around 300 MB.
Yes, yes. And of course, the selfie cam, another thing that people want to talk about is how clear is the front cam?
Yes, the front camera in comparison to the rear camera, actually a 5 megapixel omnivision. So, for example, I'd like to take your selfie here.
Okay. So what do? Do I just tap
So
on the screen, or
normally,
is there a gesture-based
so
command?
here's the thing. Normally, when people take selfies, they do this, right?
Yeah, they hold it.
So
away.
what this does is very ergonomically designed.
Yeah.
You hold this if you're a lefty. You touch the volume rocker.
The volume
it will
rocker.
take the picture.
So you just took my picture now?
I just did.
Okay.
Stolen
so the volume,
shot.
Stolen shot.
So if I'm a righty, a right-hander, I can just do it once more. So try for yourself. Sir.
Okay, okay. So the volume rocker lang.
Yes.
Okay, so the volume rocker. So sama na kita.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
There you go.
And it's pretty fast.
It's pretty fast.
So tingnan ko nga. Let me just take a look at the can you take a look at that? Take a look at that. Okay. This is the selfie with Adrian. Oh, okay. Malinaw, malinaw.
It also has a slow motion camera at 120 FPS. So let's
slow motion video camera. 120 frames per second.
120 frames per second.
So it's just like the iPhone 6 Plus.
iPhone 6 Plus takes it at 240, so it's much more sophisticated.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's the technology is also here. And going back to the face beautification, a lot of the women they love it because, of course, it's instant Adobe Photoshop. They look great all the time.
Internal storage for the MX4 Pro comes in how many
Actually, there
capacities?
are three capacities: 16, 32, and 64.
Okay.
But for the Philippine version, there's only the 32 gig available.
32 gig.
Yes.
Why is that?
For some reason, the allocation, since the demand is quite high in China,
So dun mo na nila-
that's the only device that was given to us. I mean, the storage capacity.
32
Because in China, it's, the story is different. Here in the Philippines, we Filipinos love higher capacities. In China, they prefer the smallest. For example, 16 gigabyte. That's their best selling. Why?
It's cheaper.
Because actually, well, that's the second reason. The first reason is because of their internet connection is fast and consistent, that they were able to take advantage of the 40 terabyte free cloud storage in the Flyme.
So they prefer to actually use cloud storage.
Yes, they prefer to do that. In fact, they don't need a higher storage in the phone because they can just use the 40 terabyte. I mean, who can consume 40
But
terabyte?
does the government know everything they store on the cloud?
That thing, I guess.
Adrian, thank you very much for coming over.
Pleasure,
And
always a
congratulations, of course, to
Thank
the
you.
Novo 7 for bringing over this phone. I think a lot of Filipinos would like to take a look at just how well this phone performs in real life. Thanks again for coming.
Thank you, sir.